Hi everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Just gotta get some stuff set up real quick. And yeah, we're taking a look at custom cards today, submitted by you in the Discord server. I need to catch up on stuff. I will be doing probably another live stream at excuse me, at some point. I need to pull up chat as well. Um, yep, okay, there we go. So I do have chat pulled up, and oh, apparently there's some stuff. Okay, there we go. That should be it. So, yeah, and hopefully all the settings are good. Should be all good. There is some amount of delay as well. I will say that. That is on the live stream. I don't know. That's just how it works. I don't think there's really a way for me to remove it. It's not that big of a deal, but it is something that it is here. I'll be taking a look at some custom cards. I've not looked at these custom cards. Um, yeah, I'm just taking a quick look. Yeah, I wanna look at some of the cards are kind of like dirt cards and stuff like that, so I don't want to just like review like cards that aren't really like real cards. But anyway, we're taking a look at Meowscarada EX here first, with which is a Stellar EX, and it says if your opponent's active is a Pokemon EX or Pokemon V, should do 120 more damage. Okay, that's pretty strong, right? That's actually a very strong attack. I feel like this is okay though. I feel like Let's take a look at the second attack, though. With Agate Burst, your Grass, Psychic Darkness, put 30 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon, and we like discard 3 energy and any tools from this Pokemon. Okay, that's interesting. I feel like discarding tools isn't really a necessary downside, although I would have it discard all the energy, probably. Like, that's insane. Or maybe not all. I'd say, no, discard 3 is probably fine then. Um, the first attack's quite strong. I wish balancing Stellars is really hard. 30 damage counters is a lot, right? But it's not like, I mean, this is a stage 2 for 3 energy, right? So it's objectively like way stronger than the like Cinderace EX. Cinderace EX is 180 snipe, but how good is this? This kind of just destroys single prize decks. Like, you'd probably take 3 prizes, knock out like all their attackers, and they'd probably just lose essentially on the spot, which I don't think is great. Um, I don't know. I feel like this like really messes up single prizers, and the first actually good against multi prizers though. I do like this card's design. Honestly, I just don't really love stellar Pokemon in general. Like, if this was just two types, it'd be payable. It's obviously very hard to pay, but not impossible. You have Taylor Sugar, Pontiacs, moving energies. There are different things you could do. So definitely, it is like a payable attack. Um, Oh, and no, yeah, discarding the tool, discard Sparkling Crystal. Okay, yeah, that makes sense to discard the tool as well. So I guess that is kind of necessary. But you don't obviously want your opponent or just people to be spamming the second attack. I think the first attack's fine. I bet some people will be like, this is super broken, but it's about as good as Charizard DX, I feel like, which is good. Charizard DX is very good, but I don't think this is comparing the two. I think it's fine. And we have next up, there's this Necrozma EX, which has a lot of text, which I know this is in PokemonCardMaker.net, which I actually have here. I'm not like signed in because I use like a different account. It is what it is. It's kind of complicated, but so I'm not signed in right now. But is there a way to, like, if I just type lots of text on a card? I don't know if there's a way to make it smaller. I've seen cards with smaller texts, but that might just be people doing it automatically. If you got the attack. Um, Description says, yeah, I don't think there's anything about making the text smaller, so I don't know how exactly to do that. But regardless, this is this Necrozma EX here, which I think is an Ultra Beast. I don't know. They're on Ultra Beast and Standard. It's kind of weird mixing like different things. But Order of Dimensions, once during your turn, you may look at your face down prize cards, reveal and attach up to 3 basic energy, find their tier of Ultra Beasts. Um, accelerated, right? And then you can for each one you have to put a card from your hand face down as a prize. I think you should say you have to. Like, the text kind of means that you could accelerate energies and not have any cards in hand, and then just not put cards back. I think, I'm not sure. Obviously, I don't think that's intended. But then you have to look at your face down prize cards, and if there's an Ultra Beast in your prize, you may use the attack as the chosen Ultra Beast. I think we looked at a card like this as well. I think this card's kind of cool. Ultra Beasts are cool. Obviously, they're not in standard, so this wouldn't like do anything. But this is kind of a cool card. Probably not one I'll be tossing in the. We're gonna do custom card voting, so I probably won't toss this one in because it doesn't do anything. Then we have Darkrai EX here with Bad Dreams. I'm gonna open this one up again. Bad Dreams here, and it says during Pokemon checkup, put 3 damage counters on any active Pokemon that's asleep. Okay, that's kind of cool. Sleep is definitely a special condition that's been just so forgotten about. I feel like sleep is definitely a cool special condition. Well, it's not a cool special condition. They're all kind of interesting though. Um, and if they were developed, it could be cool, I guess. It is coin flippy. Um, oh, this gets really weird. I don't know the order in which you'd do this. Like if you do this before or after the coin flip, and obviously that matters a lot. But anyways, your attack for 2 darkness, 120. The defending Pokemon is now asleep. Flip two coins instead of one between turns to wake up. And if either of them is if either is them is tails, the defending Pokemon is still asleep. If both are tails, put 6 damage counters on the defending Pokemon. Okay, I like this card a lot. I mean, it would be kind of annoying, right? But I think it's cool. It does very solid damage. It could theoretically do 210 damage for 2 darkness in the basic, which is quite good, but that's like coin flippy, and that won't be happening all the time. Worst case scenario, just is 120 for 2 darkness on a basic EX, and that's okay. Though not that good. It's whatever. But then if you're hitting, it's probably on average is hitting. I mean, if you flip, just if they don't wake up, but they don't flip double tails, then you're doing 150, which seems pretty fair. I do like this card a lot. I think the sleep special condition definitely one that couldn't use some new stuff, and I like this version of it. Then we have these are cards that are older. Well, they're not older, obviously. They're custom cards, but they're made to look older with some new stuff. So we got, and I'm not familiar with level X's, but we have a bunch of different cards here. We have, and these look so cool, by the way. I'm pretty sure none of these are actual cards. I don't know the actual cards, but we have Gengar here, level 54. I'm pretty sure that's not part of the name. Gengar here says it has 110 HP, ectotoxin. Also, I don't know how long I'm going to live stream. Tell me how long. I don't know. I feel like then people are just like keep live streaming, but yeah, we'll see how much I do when I catch up on cards. But ectotoxin, the defending Pokemon is now poisoned. Put one more damage counter on that between turns for each bench Pokemon that had each of your bench Pokemon that have any damage counters on them. Okay, that's really interesting. The self-damage type thing. It synergizes with the Gengar from Lost Origin, and it's cool. I mean, we've seen Gengars kind of like this, and I do like these. Then we have Sacrificial Pain for Psychic Colorless 120. Put 8 damage counters on your Pokemon in any way you like. If any of your Pokemon would be knocked out in any way, in this way, this attack does nothing. Okay, so it's like saying you can't knock out your own Pokemon, I think is the idea. This is kind of weird. I feel like the attack's it's kind of interesting synergizing with the first attack. That's a little weak, though it is aiming at an older time period, so maybe it's balanced around that. But this is definitely interesting compared to, like, we've seen other Gengars similar to this, and I do like it with Ectotoxin. And these are Halloween themed. So wait, Halloween themed? How long? I guess that's like a month ago, which isn't like super long ago, but it's still a little behind. When you Lost in the Depths, this card looks so sick as well. But it does 70. Wait, is this created on PokeCardMaker.net? No, it's not. I was created on, I don't know, apparently from these templates you can see now at the bottom. But when starting a turn, if you have depths of the Catacombs in play, which is a stadium that we'll take a look at, you would put a supporter card from your hand in the Lost Zone. Okay, that's cool. And this is the Lost Zone. The other one's, this one's Lost Zone. That's not. Let's take a look at the stadium in just a second. But if it's in play, you may put a supporter from your hand in the Lost Zone. Okay, which seems like kind of bad, like to do. I mean, obviously you can power up your Lost Zone, but this is a bit sketchy. Let's see these attacks though. Search your discard for a supporter or stadium, show it to your opponent and put it into your hand for 1 color or for free, and does 10. And then Shadow Claw 30. Choose one of your opponent's Pokemon. Choose 1 card from your opponent's hand without looking at it. Looking and discard it. Okay, this is like pretty standard Mimikyu stuff. Well, I don't know. The second attack is. This is cool. I need to take a look at the stadium. Obviously, that matters here. Depths of the Catacomb says it's a stadium, and whenever any player plays a trainer or stadium card. Okay, so trainer would as in like item trainer. Oh yeah, because it's like a stadium, which is like stadium's a stadium. But wait, can you see my mouse? Yeah, you can see my mouse. So it says when they play a trainer or a stadium, that player puts 2 damage counters on one of his or her Pokemon, and if a Pokemon would be knocked out, they can't play the card. Okay, that's interesting. Kind of like it kind of is similar to the Gengar. This is a really cool stadium. This is really cool. It's kind of weird because then like the stadium, if they play a stadium that just happening the once, then it just gets bumped, right? And then just playing trainers though, punching them every time they play an item, I think is really cool. I think I just make it any trainer type as well. I don't know exactly what era is this. I don't know. This is certainly well before I played the Pokemon TCG, but um, yeah. And I was playing recently with some older cards, and I was like, wow, these cards are so badly written, because like weird redundancy and complications. Some are complications because of the way that cards have been changed. Like trainer subtype trainer is just like it's not actually trainer subtype trainer, but that's what it looks like, and it's really weird. But regardless, this is definitely I love this stadium. I like this a lot. And we have a Mimikyu level X. Oh, I guess wait, I shouldn't have talked too much about the Mimikyu. Okay, let's Mimikyu level X. You level it up, put onto Mimikyu, and it has 100 HP as well, which is like really, I don't know. I don't know too much about level X's, but it seems kind of like, I don't know, it's like an evolution. If this was in standard, because obviously Mimikyu's a newer Pokemon. Anyways, I'm kind of just saying words now. But Master of Puppets is a Pokepower, which Pokepowers are like abilities. They're like a subtype of abilities. In some older formats, people try to like turn Pokebuys and Pokepowers into abilities, which works decently well. But if you go the other way, turning abilities into Pokebuys and Pokepowers, it gets like super complicated. But regardless, they're like activate abilities. So once during your turn, though, if you have 3 or more cards in the lost, you may choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has any damage counters on it and switch it with the defending Pokemon. Um, and then this power can't be used if Mimikyu is affected by a special condition. Okay, so that was just the thing that they all say. So and then Mimic Crisis for 3 Psychic 40. Choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon's attacks and use its effect as the effect of this attack. And cannot be chained. Okay, I feel like the attack, I don't know if I don't know too much about the balance being gone for with this card. I do like attack copying though. I think that's always fun. And again, thematically fitting of Mimikyu, which we've seen in the past. Then you have, what else do we have here? Then we have, I opened up the chat and it started doing like weird stuff on my. I have it on my phone here. And so you have. I don't know the what's it called, the ability, not the really, the Pokepower is cool, synergistic with the basic. Oh, and you can use, you can copy the previous evolutions. How do level X's work? You evolve them in the active, and then it can use previous evolutions, attacks and abilities. So you can do that, which I think is kind of cool. But I think breaks are better. I don't know, breaks are a little simpler. They don't need to be in the active. Yeah, they don't need to be inactive. So I think I like breaks a little more. I mean, like visually, I think level X's look a little cooler, but um, anyways, yeah, this is definitely an interesting card. It looks really good, but um, yeah, the Gust I think is fair. It's pretty solid, but I do think it is fair. And we've seen lots of different Mimikyus. It works kind of cool with those as well. You have Darkrai here, which I don't know if this synergizes with them. There's some synergy with the Gengar and the Mimikyu stuff, but not that much. But then you have the Pokemon Power here, New Moon Mirage, which says once during your turn, before you attack, if Darkrai is your active Pokemon, you choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon and move all damage cards from one of your bench Pokemon to that Pokemon. If you do your turn ends, okay, this is kind of cool. You damage yourself a bunch, and then you like do the snipe attack. This is kind of weird as to why it's an ability and not an attack, like a free attack. I don't know if there's a specific reason for doing it. I mean, I think abilities that do damage are cool. Theoretically problematic. So you could do this turn while going first. And then you have Night Chaser, which for 2 Darkness and a Colorless does 50 if one of your opponent's Pokemon move from the active to the bench. When your opponent's last turn, it does 50 more damage, 50 plus 30, and does 30 to that Pokemon, the one that moved to the bench. Okay. Wait, what if it moved from the bench or from the active to the bench and then back to the active? Or like what if they switched a bunch? Like it seems like there's one Pokemon. So I guess you could just do what's it, 110 to the active then in that case? I don't know. That's not super common, but it does happen some. So anyway, this is cool. Obviously, it's like an older card. I don't know how to judge this one as well. I really do like, I like the cards in general, but I really love the stadium. This is definitely a card that I think would be super fun. Stadiums that do damage are cool, and you have this downside and you have this. It's a really cool card. Then, Diancie, we got Carabank EX as well here. Diancie says, the true cost of each your care bank in play is 1 colorless more for each dragon Pokemon your opponent has in play. Okay, that seems bad, obviously. I mean, it's an ability that's bad, but let's take a look at the care bank. to see if there's a reason for that. Okay, this is interesting. So then you have Keramik EX, which says this attack does no. Okay, something's being wonky on my computer right now. Anyways, hopefully it's all good. So Keramik EX says that body press it does 50 and no 150 more for each colors in this Pokemon's retreat cost, and it resists dragon, which is kind of interesting. That feels kind of random. I mean, that's not random. It's just like so weird seeing resisting dragon. But that's like kind of cool. And when you put this Pokemon to play, you may choose one of your Diancie in play, and well, in play this Diancie gains 20 more HP. That seems a little hard to track, but that does seem cool. And you have Diancie with Draconic with Refractor Beam for Psychic Colors does 30. This should say 30. It should have an X there, but that doesn't really matter. 30 times the amount of Terra Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponents. Okay, that's pretty solid, honestly. Like most opponents probably might have like one. That's pretty common for a lot of decks, maybe two. Very good against Trap Ghost EX, I feel like, or at least pretty good. It's just not insanely good, but theoretically you could load your bench up with 8 Terra Pokemon. I don't know, that's not super likely. I might make the Carabank EX Terra, right? That would make sense. I think I'd probably do that to make it doesn't change. It could literally not change the card at all. That'd be fine. Um, and I think that might be a little better. Especially because they're like Pokemon that kind of Terra's like with these gemstone things, and they're like these gemstone Pokemon. So I feel like that would make sense. Also, the encrusted loyalty ability is a little weird because you need to keep track of it. And so that's something you just need to kind of watch out for, which could be a little complicated. I almost want to say this is like an attach it to Diancie as a tool type thing. And also Diancie's attack's like kind of weak. It's not like it could be really good if you build around it. I think there's cool synergies here. I think there's a lot like I like this. Diancie's HP is low. I'd probably increase it a little and then like to make it a big tank with the Carabanks attached. And it's only 20 more HP as well. But the two-way synergy is really cool. Carabank and Diancie as well. In Discord, the person was like, who's this? He said, I think I don't know what their whole name is, because it's chopped off. But it said because I'm streaming. But yeah, I think Carabank and Diancie deserve more love. They're cool Pokemon and they don't get a lot. Also, I need to quickly hide the screen to check something real quick. Something's kind of being wonky here. So whatever, I'll figure out later. Anyways, so there we go, it's back. Then the next card is these are what? Seviper, Zangoose, and their EXs. So these are hopefully these look cool. They look really fun. But we have Seviper here, which says Angered Venom. If Zangoose or Zangoose EX is in play, your opponent's active Pokemon is poisoned. During Pokemon checkup, put 3 damage counters on any poisoned Pokemon. Okay, that's cool. This is I'm trying to think how this would stack. So obviously Seviper's a Pokemon that's like super poison focused. It's always poison focused as far as I can remember. The good ones have been, and there haven't been that good ones, but there's one that's poison focused that's good. And there's some others that actually, nah, never mind. There's a single strike one that wasn't poison focused, but whatever. So it says weakening toxin 90 for 2. And if turning Pokemon is poisoned during your opponent's next turn, they can't play any Pokemon from their hand to evolve any Pokemon in play. Okay, this is interesting. This is like, I might say that might be a little bad interesting due to the fact that you can use this turn 1 going second, at least in standard with Dark Patch, you can do it with relative ease. And then, oh wait, no, it says if the defending Pokemon is poisoned during your opponent's, no, so you just poison them with your ability, which is not hard to use. And it's not like they're poisoned, they can't evolve. Unless that's what it's supposed to be. But I think they can't evolve at all. Assuming they're poisoned at the time which you use the attack. Which in that case that's like really hard to deal with. And also one way to remove poison is to like evolve. So I think this could be a little like broken. Like it's very good, but and like stopping evolution can be interesting in some ways, but you need to moderate it. Pokemon moderates it like a lot. It's essentially impossible to do. But I think this is a little like too freely being able to do it. I'm thinking about the ability. If is this one ability or 2 abilities? Like, is it kind of like 2 separate abilities during Pokemon checkup? Put 3 damage counters on any poison Pokemon, and then it's just 3. It's not 3 more, so it doesn't stack. How would this work with Rainy History and Sneasler? Would that still add on? Is 3 and then 2 more than 3, or is it just 2 more and then okay, Survivor sets it down to 3 no matter what? So Survivor doesn't stack; it just sets it to 3. This is like pretty solid. I'd probably just say it's 2 more. I don't know. It's a little weird. With like interacting with the other cards, but it's pretty solid. It's pretty strong though. Definitely like a card that seems easy to use. But I want to take a look at the Zangoose. I do like this. Zangoose and Survivor are kind of cool. I don't think they're the coolest Pokemon around, but they're pretty cool. They're somewhat cool. Then we have Hunting Fury, which says for it's an ability if you have 2 more. So this is just 1 in play. If you have 2 more Survivor or Survivor EX in play, or no, if 2 or more are in play. And the Pokemon attacks deal 50 more damage to your opponent's active. I think this works with like one of each. I don't know if the wording says so. I can't think of any card exactly like this. Could say with Survivor in its name. I don't know if that's any more clear, but that would work as well. And then that's after applying weakness and resistance, which I'm sure will come up very often. Obviously it's colorless, so probably won't, but it could. And it is needed there, I suppose. Then Thrashing Claws for 2 colors, 100. Your points active in EX to 70 more. So that's really strong. Well, that's pretty solid. It's 270, or no, that's 220 to a basic EX. Pretty strong. Or 220 EX, potentially one-shotting them, assuming you have the Zangooses in play, the Zangoose and the Survivors in play. Survivor EX with paralyzing. I think that's supposed to be maybe that's a different. I don't know. Blade 100 for 2 darkness. If you have Zangoose or Zangoose EX in play during your opponent's next turn, they can't play any training cards from their hand. Choose one of your Zangoose or ZX in play. That Pokemon is knocked out. Wow. Okay, this is interesting. Obviously, trainer lock can be annoying, but it is a very serious downside. And this is interesting. I almost want to say this isn't like that good, but it's complete trainer lock. This is really really interesting to think about how good it would be. And not a card I would hate to see at all. The art's like kind of weird looking. It's very shiny in a strange way. But targeted strike here, 30 for 3 darkness and does 30 more damage. Oh, again, this should say 30 plus. Um, Wait, let me double check. Let me read it. This does 30 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active. Okay, yeah, so it should be like I think there's Pokemon with targeted strike. I could be wrong. Obviously, that doesn't really matter that much. But with the plus thing either. But yeah, that's pretty solid. It's like fair. I feel like the second attack feels very fair. I could even see it like do a little more, because it's like I feel like the first attack's really good. I don't know. It's just Pokemon with 2 interesting attacks, which I always like. And this is a Viper EX. The first attack's really interesting. With like Trainer Lock with a serious downside that doesn't feel. I don't know. It kind of puts timers in like both players, and you kind of need to make sure you win. You want to then you I guess also poison them. And let's take a look at Zangoose EX as well, which says unlimiting rage if Zangoose or Zangoose EX is knocked out during yours or your opponent's last turn. Oh, was knocked out. Yeah, you may switch one of your opponents. So I think this is like one of yours, not itself, but other ones. Then you may switch one of your opponent's bench to the active. So you can discuss. That's really interesting with the Survivor EX. I love this combo with this like self knockout, and then they're fighting each other on your own team. This is really cool. Oh, the Zangoose EX isn't fighting like the Survivor in that way, but and then you can only use attack if you have a Survivor or Survivor on the bench. The 260 over 3 colors. That seems quite strong. Trying to think of other things like Blood Mirror's Linux is kind of like it, but it's not very hard to get a Survivor EX on the bench. That's why I feel like it's just like very strong. It's not super easy to pay. I think this isn't like super broken, but it's quite good. I think it's like pushing the upper end of the like good Pokemon in the game. Like you're kind of comparing it to Trapdos EX, which is like 2 colorless and doing 220 or I don't know, it's kind of like 220 for 1 or 240 for 2, but that's like with the full bench. So this is just with one specific bench Pokemon, which isn't necessarily providing some value. It's adding additional poison damage. I think this card is okay. 260 is a pretty mediocre like damage breakpoint to be hitting anyways. So like even if you just drop down to 240, it would be almost functionally identical. I could even see this lower to like 200, even 190 though, because you do have the poison from Survivor. So I'd almost make it 200, drop it down from 260. I definitely think Zangoose's interactions, the Zangoose EX Survivor EX interaction with the self knockouts and things like that that's really 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 crazy cool. I just love this a lot. I like that combo there. And then we have a known EX. and it says Hidden Power, the classic. Unknown. I was looking through unknowns recently, and that was unknowns are such a mess. There's like so many of them. If I'm not mistaken, unknown has the most cards of any Pokemon. Oh, it's not the most. It's the second most behind Pikachu, which is Pikachu. But Unknown has so many cards, and it's like you look at them, it's like completely incomprehensible, like what these cards are. It's like it's a big mess, but whatever. Unknown EX though has 160 HP, which is very low, and then has the attack clue. Um, I don't know the unknown for letters very well. I assume that's alright. I don't know. I guess that's the C. It kind of looks like I guess it looks like a C. But anyways, this ability can't be used if you have an unknown EX in your discard pile. Okay. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for 4 cards and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. This Pokemon is knocked out and cannot be retrieved from the discard pile. And Hidden Power does 60 hits for weakness. That's kind of interesting. The reason why it is interesting hitting for weakness as opposed to just doing 120 is that now you can so it's doubled, right? Actually, this is a little weird because weakness, like it says times 2. I assume it's always like times 2. I mean, it's in standard, it's always times 2. In unlimited, this will get like kind of wonky, but whatever. That doesn't really matter. But then if you add in some damage buffs, it gets doubled, which is kind of cool. Same thing that we see with Festival Lead, except Festival Lead is kind of bad. So this is definitely more interesting than that, especially because like Festival Lead, there's 3 attackers, and the one's really rad. It's 200 on a basic, and it does 10 for 2 color, so you can double turbo, and then even if you are adding damage boost, you're not doing any damage ever. So that's bad. And then I'm pretty sure that's how that will work. And then also you have um, the stage 1, which is a stage 1. So, and then you have the one that like places damage, so that doesn't get damage boost. So this is cool. I like it. I'm going to like that within the Festival Lead deck with like something like Kieran or Vitality Band or Maximum Belt or whatever. Being able to double up that. You can one shot a Miraidon EX or something like that with Maximum Belt. But Clue is really it's cool. This is a really cool ability, really strong ability. I don't know how good it is. I really don't. Searching for 4 cards is insane. Knocking yourself out on a 2 prizer is really bad, as we've seen with what's the card called? With Fortress EX. It's a little weird not being able to retrieve it from the discard pile. I can't think of anything like that. And I was like, oh, just put it in the lost zone. You could just put it in the lost. Well, but that's not what you want. And I feel like I don't actually know if you need the downside on this ability. Well, no, you need the knockout downside. But the other downsides of like can't be recovered and can't be used if it's like you can't use it. You can only use it once per game, essentially is the thing. Like you've seen it twice, so you can't use it 3 times, right? Unless you're an expanded, but whatever. Who's talking about expanded? You can use it twice, but that's knocking out yourself like twice. That's gonna be 4 prizes theoretically. Yes, then you could like turn one of Roxanne, which is not what you want to do. And you want what you want to see happen. But like if you're using this super aggressively, which is really what you'd be doing if you're knocking yourself out twice, then and it's causing some that's just like a massive resource commitment, and there's only so much you can do turn 1. Using this turn 2, like going first or something, you can do a lot more, but I don't know. I think this card is. I'm not sure. I feel like the downside, it's fair. It's a little weird. Like it's something that we haven't really seen, which isn't obviously a problem for custom cards, but you should just add like random new stuff, just to add random new stuff on a card that has like cool that is already very interesting card within its like strategic depth within self knockouts and with unique attack and a lot of really unique things going on with it. Then you're adding on this layer of can't be used if it's in the discard, then also can't be recovered, which is just so weird having a card that can't be recovered. And what exactly does this mean that can't be retrieved from the discard pile? Like, was this stopping? Is this stopping? Is it stuck there forever? Could you use something like Rabska? Could you use something like, presumably you can't use like Rescue Stretcher or Super Rod, I guess. Like, is it to your hand or to your deck? And presumably your opponent can't like Karen it or Spear Tumor back in. Like, there's a lot of things that go into this card. And become like kind of complicated and also not very important with this additional effect. So I don't know if it would be like completely broken. If you could just double up on it, it'd be good. But I don't know if it'd be like absurdly broken. But I think you could I don't know. I do like this card a lot. I like powerful EX abilities as well, especially like Cyrano in the game. I think Cyrano is an interesting supporter, and this would like be cool with unknown EX here. Um, got this camera up here. Says this Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage for each damage count on this Pokemon, and for free, then you do 10, and during your next turn, this Pokemon's Flare Charge attack costs 2 fire, and it's an EX. Oh wow, this is really interesting. This is the first card I think I've seen like this with like an attack increasing its cost. I think this is cool. So you need to accelerate or you need to attach in the first place. I love this card. This is really fun. I'd almost make its HP higher. Like I might just get one-shotted, and then you're really sad because you have this like this EX like one that just doesn't do like anything. Um, so some way that you could like self damage, maybe have more HP. I don't know. I'd give it like a bunch more HP. To be honest, I might give it like 50 more HP, which might be overkill. It's certainly a relatively fair HP. I'd say 280 would make a tiny bit more sense, but that doesn't matter that much. So I do like this is a really unique card design with this free attack that isn't free all the time. Like you can't stream it, and obviously you want to use it back to back. You could switch it to your bench and then like switch it back in, and then it's free again, and that's interesting as well. It has a higher retreat cost, so that's not something you're looking to do all the time or that often, but it is an option. And this camera EX, I mean, this is like it's interesting. The first time you're attacking, it's really bad. Ultimately, I might have it be an attack. Well, actually, no. I feel like there's an issue with this attack is the fact that like you're only going to attack with this once. Like you'll attack with it twice. You can attack the first time, then get hit into it, then attack again. Um, but then, but like attacking the first time doesn't do anything except increase your attack cost. So you just and it does 10, but that's barely anything. I guess with Magma Basin, there are ways to make you do a little more, and it is free on an stage one, but it's not like super great. And then eventually you'd go like, oh, I want to make this Pokemon like you just pass the first turn, so you just like leave it in the active and then pass. I think the idea is not to have that happen, right? Because then the flares and then they'll hit into you and they're presumably two-shotting you, right? If they're or they might one-shot you, but then it doesn't matter at all. But if they're two-shotting you, they hit into you and then you attack for free, and then they and do like some damage, and the next time they knock you out, and then the effect of flare charge never comes into effect. I mean, it technically does. I know it doesn't really come into effect. So I feel like this is really interesting, but I don't know exactly how I would change it. Um, the ability is cool. I might just make it like a normal attack. Like I don't think the ability and the attack have that much synergy. In fact, they have a level of anti-synergy, which might be a bit of a problem here. So that's something that I'm kind of looking out for. I might just make an attack that does like a flat 200 for free, or you can make a card that does more for damage on it, and you're kind of walling up and soaking up damage. But I think it needs to be a Pokemon that maybe takes less damage as well. So this Pokemon took less damage, so it wouldn't be like getting one-shotted. That'd be really important. Or even two-shotted. If with a Pokemon like this ability, I think you're looking at it and you want something that is going to have a like get at least three-shotted. 3 or 4 shot is probably what you're looking at in terms of raw HP. Pokemon are hitting 200, so you need like 600 HP or something, which is not what you want. You don't want to just give this Pokemon 600 HP, and then to be hitting like just one-shotting everything in the meantime. So I think you'd probably make it something like Hisuian Guja V-Star with like a self-damage ramp attack. I think that might be what I do. And that would be separated then into 2 separate cards as well there. Okay, sorry. Had to do something. Yeah. Oh, in the chat, is the comments or is my audio good? Also, if you are enjoying the stream, like the stream, I appreciate that. I think that helps get it out to other people as well. But this will be available later, of course, as well. Closer. This is a okay, this is like to pair with other stuff, but it is a new Closer EX. Aqua Jet 60, 20 to 2 points Pokemon, Pulsing Shot, 150 for 2, and during your next turn, attacks from your Closer in play without a rule box do 100 more damage. Okay, that's cool, as this will not be reset if it gets knocked out. So I'm pretty sure. So Oh yeah, this is like a board effect. Or like a I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, Claw 2EX is definitely cool. I think it pairs with some other ones. Nothing super crazy here. Um, but I do like it. I want to find the other clusters. I don't remember where they are. I've lost them. I think they were in the first custom card submission. Maybe not. Maybe they were in the second one. They weren't one of them, I'm pretty sure. Um, it might have been up higher. That's not a cluster. One second. I gotta find these. Oh, okay. So the basic is a similar attack. Um, then there's a cluster, but it's a single prizer, and it refers to just clusters, not cluster EX. So that wouldn't interact with it. So this doesn't have too much interaction with those other cards. Um, it's a cool card. Nothing super crazy. A card I could see Pokemon printing. I think it's a little more interesting than those though as well. Just on EX, we have next up here a stellar one as well. So we have just on EX with 290 HP, which is a little 290. I feel like I wouldn't give Pokemon 290 unless you have a super specific reason to, because there are no Pokemon with 290 HP, and that'll be very meaningful if and when it happens. But regardless, you have this Pokemon here with 290 HP, Bullet Barricade, prevent all damage counters from being placed on your bench Pokemon by effects of attacks used by your opponent's evolved Pokemon. Okay, that's there to prevent like Regidrago, Dragapult stuff, and so that's fine, though somewhat niche. And then when it can sit on your bench, but it is a stage 2, so probably not what you're looking to do. And if an attack here, Grass Fighting Metal, coming through does 210. If your opponent's active Pokemon has 2 or less energy attached, you switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active, so you can gust it up to like trap it because you're not hitting into it, I'm pretty sure. This is like fine. I feel like it's pretty weak for like a stellar attack. I mean, I think it's on par for stellar attacks, but they've been pretty weak. So I think Chestnut EX is ultimately a card that I think this card could be noticeably stronger. I think its HP should be like 340. I'm not super familiar with chestnuts in general, but I knew they do have higher HP with the higher retreat cost. And I feel like I don't know. Ultimately, this ability feels somewhat mediocre to underwhelming. Like comparing it to Pikachu EX, which is I believe the only other still Pokemon with an ability, at least the only one that I know of. There might be one of the evolutions that I'm forgetting, but um, the ability is really good. It's really defining the Pokemon. Chestnut EX's ability is pretty mediocre. Not an ability I'd hate to see at all in the game. It's just a pure counter to Dragapult, but it's ultimately a card that the ability is like I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it fits a stellar. And Pokemon has kind of done stellar Pokemon in a pretty simple manner so far. At least with, but like you could, I don't know. This doesn't feel like it. Um, though it's not like a problem. Like this ability is a cool ability. Um, and the attack is like interesting as well. Um, I do think it could be flashier, but again, Pokemon isn't necessarily put super flashy attacks on stellar Pokemon either with the stellar attacks. But I don't know. It's like it's solid. It can do some good stuff. Like attacking and then gusting is cool. I do like attacks kind of like that. It's kind of like reverse of the ones that gust then damage as well. Um, yeah, I think this Chestnut EX is. I don't know. I think I'd give it a second attack and not give it the ability. I'd probably just give it an attack that's I'm not sure what I do. Maybe like a bench snipe attack or something. Um, Yeah, not exactly. I'm not very familiar with chestnuts. Chestnuts not seen a lot of love in the Pokemon TCG, as far as I'm aware. Maybe they have. There have been like a bunch of chestnut cards that are good, but I have not seen them. And we have Trevenant EX here next up. This one says natural growth. If this Pokemon is in the active, its attack cost is psychic. Well, 1 second less for each consecutive turn that is not attacked by your opponent's Pokemon. Um, you restore its attack cost after it's attacked. I think this is your opponent's consecutive turns. And yeah, okay. This makes sense. I assume the turn you play it, then it's 3 psychics. And it says construct and capture 90 for through colors. During your opponent's next turn, they can't retreat. No, that's not what it says. They cannot put any items or tools into their hand from their deck. Okay, wait, what? Okay, I guess this is like searching. It's not stopping and drawing, right? Because that's not really a way to do that. I mean, you could say like they have to reveal and like they can't do it, but I don't think that's what this is saying. I think it's saying they can't search them out. Um, this is like solid. I don't know. It's like obviously counting Arvin very directly, and is like kind of countering Irida. I think this is a very specific card. Like there are, well, no, it's countering Noctowl. It's countering a few things. And I saw the descriptions kind of supposed to be like item lock, Trevenant, EX. The ability is interesting, but I'd put it on a Pokemon that like you're trying to gust something up, and then they try to like they can't Arvin, and they could Pidgeot EX for an item as well. I'm pretty sure because there's no way of knowing that it's an item. As far as I'm aware, you could again make him like reveal, but I don't think that's really what you're trying to do here. Um, I think it could just be item lock, to be honest. I think that'd be fine. Which isn't the exact same. I think this is cool. We've seen a few attacks and things like this, but they get a little complicated. There's a reason Pokemon hasn't done that because it's a little complicated with like the accountability thing, which Pokemon always does try to make its cards things that like you can't like cheat with. Like for example, Pidgeot EX you don't reveal because you're getting any card, and you can't ever grab a card that isn't something that you're allowed to get. But then with Arvin, you have to get an item or a tool, so you would then reveal. So something that's searching those cards types specifically would be revealed. But something searching general cards could still get them, and so then that's not. I don't know. Like they could still search out items on their turn, and they could still. They couldn't get it with like Noctowl by this way, but they could get it with Pidgeot EX. So it is stopping some things. I think it's a weaker attack though, unless as I said you're making them reveal every time they like draw or search, which is okay. It seems a little annoying, to be honest. It seems like it'll just slow the game down a bunch in a way that's not interesting. This build is really interesting. um I'd put it on like a snipe based Pokemon is probably what I do, or something that's more like heavy locking. So maybe you could just make this item lock and then it gets cheaper, but at the end of the day, well, actually, no, it's kind of weird as well because you want to attack with it the first time, and um, then you have the energy on already, right? So, um, and it needs to be the active, so you don't just want to be sitting there just not attacking and the active. So I think I'd make it actually the other way around, where if you get hit into, your attack costs more. So it starts out at like one psychic, then you send it up, and then if they hit you, then it goes up one. Um, until it leaves the active is probably what I say. I'm trying to think because you want to like build theoretically until eventually you just like can't really attack. That's kind of like the idea is like, or they can go up to three as opposed to just going up one in total. You could just make go up one total. That would be simpler, but I think the growing like thing is really fun. Also, this isn't really growth. Like it's kind of growth because it's improving, but like the number is getting smaller, which is like not growth. I think it kind of is funnier if it's going up, and then all of a sudden your opponent's like forcing you to manually attach every turn, which is cool, and then like not knocking you out because you're like restricting their movement. I like this card theoretically, but I think it could. I think in practicality, when playing with it, it doesn't necessarily do the things they're looking for it to do, or they're like complicated as well. And complicated is not necessarily bad, but I think it is some things that are unnecessarily complicated. You could just make it item lock, and that'd be okay. We got Meganium up next here. Its ability, Immaculate Cure. Having Pokemon check appeal 10 for each of from each of your grass Pokemon in play for each basic grass energy attached to them. Okay, that is really cool. I think, well, is this strong enough on a stage 2? I'm not convinced. I'm gonna say that. I think it's, stage 2s are cool. Grass Pokemon are cool. I mean, they're kind of bad, but theoretically they're good. Yeah, stage 2s are good in standard, but they're not like, generally they haven't been, they've been weaker than basics, obviously. Basics have been pretty dominant for a long time. But I like this. I like Pokemon checkup stuff. I like healing stuff. I feel like this could be stronger. Maybe 20. It is strong Pokemon checkup. Grass with healing, like, I don't know. You walk a thin line of like healing enough, but not making sure that it doesn't get overwhelming either. And then you have Soothing Powder. If your opponent's active, Pokemon attacks this Meganium during the next turn, they're asleep. Okay, that's interesting. In some ways, it's like they'll probably be awake. This attack feels a little weak. Yeah, I think it could be a little stronger, but it is it's kind of cool. Also, if you have any thoughts on these cards in the chat, also feel free to leave those there. But yeah, the next we have this Rapstrick Urshifu V-Star. This does not really work with the cards in standard right now. So we'll take a look at it in not standard context for then when, the Rapstrick stuff was legal. Multiple flow for water fighting colorless. Discard any amount of water or fighting energy from your hand for each energy card Oh, okay. So I think that should say that should be a period. Yeah, 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 okay. Discard. So it's discard any amount of water or fighting energy from your hand. I don't know if it can be a combination. But then for each energy discarded, put 6 damage counters. Wait, what? Um, 6 damage counters on what your opponent's Pokemon anyway. Like, yeah. Oh, well, you for sorry. There's a stream delay. Were you talking about the Meganium with this card? I assume you were. And yeah, the no damage is like quite weak. I think it's not supposed to be a tank though. I think it's supposed to allow you to your other Pokemon or whatever, your grass Pokemon like Venusaur EX and the active to tank better. I think that's the idea there. You get a bunch of energy on, you heal extra, and then you're tanking extra as well. The attacks, I think, definitely a secondary thing there, but it is something that I think you could be stronger. Definitely could be noticeably stronger. I think this does you discard the amount of water fighting energy from your hand. For each energy discard, put 6 damage counters on. I think on your opponent's Pokemon anyway. Like this is pretty strong. Uh, and then you have Rapid Strike Star. Discard all energy attached to this Pokemon. Spread 13 damage counters on any way you like. Okay, that's like pretty solid. That feels very fair. I like that. This is interesting. As Rapid Strike generally did just straight up bench damage and not damage counters, as far as I'm aware. I'm trying to think. All the ones I can think of are bench damage. There are only a few good Rapid Strike cards as well, so could just be could just be forgetting some. I'd probably make this just do like there's a way a thing. It's like Kuba GX or something. There are some attacks like that. Maybe like the Starmie. I'd make it a little more like the Starmie. But that's just kind of complicated. I think this is fine. There's something that they said as well. Says I don't know. So this the first act's very strong. I think the first act's a little is like really good. Um, it's essentially the same attack cost as Rapid Urshifu VMAX, and that did 120 to 2. I mean, actually, it's not that much better than Rapid Urshifu VMAX, and it is a harder attack to pay theoretically. Um, I don't know. I think this card is. I'd reduce it to like 50. Um, yeah, I think or five damage counters is probably what I do. And that'd be okay, I think. I don't know. I'm trying to think. The graph check Urshifu VMAX is really good. I might even make it 2 energies and make it 4. Um, yeah, and the second attack is definitely. It's not like it's super strong. Um, Yeah, I'd make it stronger in some way. Like its spread value, theoretically, you could like spread a bunch of different opponents' Pokemon and like Inteleon stuff. I guess yeah, Inteleon places damage counters. Yeah, so that's an ability, but it places damage counters, and that's a pretty important Rapid Strike card. Um, I think this card's cool. Yeah, I would weaken the first attack, strengthen the second attack a little bit. Um, it's I think I do like the concepts though. Then you have Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. I'm gonna close tabs as well. Yeah, get a lot of tabs open here, so should probably get these out of here. Single Strike Urshifu V Star. That's not a VMAX. It says 280 HP as well. I might actually make this HP lower, but wait, no, I think they're the same HP anyways. I think 3 damage counters is pretty weak because it's discarding energy from hand. Um, like, and it's in addition to the ones attached. So you have like a couple energies on because a Rapid Strike and an attachment. It does say, I think it's supposed to say that you can discard Rapid Strike energies, but that is technically not how it would work. Which is kind of weird, but that is how the special energies are like super weird. But um, you could get like 4, and that's like 120. I think it might be right actually. I'd say in terms of like balancing and what Pokemon do, they might do like 3. I'd probably say 4 or even 5. Like again, because Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX was. I guess you discard all the energy from itself though, so this is like kind of countering that. Yeah, no, the four is probably seems I think a little better. Seems to be the right number. I think like you want it to be good as well. I think I want it to be pretty good. I think I'd want it to be good. Maybe not in the game. It's 70, and 40 more for each fighting or darkness attached to this Pokemon. Okay, that's pretty fair. Hitting a minimum of. Oh wait. I need to look at Rapid Strike Energy or single. Wait, no, yeah, I need to look at Single Strike Energy real quick. Um, I don't know what this card does. Let's see. I think it might provide both fighting and darkness. So if you get three single strike energies, ignoring the plus damage from the single strike energies, um, it would be adding each single strike energy would be adding 80 damage. I think. I don't know. If someone knows the ruling for that, 'cause it says one energy at a time, but like you can put a luminous. Um, yeah, no, it provides both. Yeah, so it's providing both of these. So each single strike energy would provide essentially 100 more damage. So if you attached two and then some other energy, that's just some random colorless energy, you're still doing 270. So um I think it just like one shots everything um with three single strike energies. Like you just literally just knock everything out, which you can do. You'd be hitting 370 damage because you have three fighting energies on, three darkness energies on. Maybe, unless I'm misinterpreting the attack, if it's fighting or darkness, and so it's like, oh, it's just one. I don't know. It's really complicated. It's weird. I don't know. I can't think of any attacks like this. If someone knows in the chat, that'd be helpful. Because singles, as I said, not and like special energies can be really weird. But I think this is like cool. Like it's cool. I like it. Um, There's some weird like stuff that might get worked out, which is like weird stuff that I don't know exactly how it should be worked out. But yeah, then you have single strike star. For some reason, rapid strike star sounds better than single strike star to me. Um, so I don't know. Are there any other cards like it that you know? I like it's intended to be one for special energy. Um, but wait, no. If you had three single strike energy, if it was 40 per, it'd be 60. Um, that would be hitting wait, it's 20 extra, right? So it's 60, 80, um it is 250. It'd be hitting two. It was 250 still a bunch, but I think that's more fair. Single strike star, I think is too expensive. I think this is like very similar to single strike extra max. Oh, but it's more expensive. Yeah, I think this is like too much. I mean, single strike always got this one on this deck. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Like I can't think of any attacks like this. Like obviously there's something like say Sea King. No, Seadra. No, was it King? Sea King. Yeah, there we go. Sea King, which says for each water energy attached to it. Um, yeah, so single strike is 20 more for each one, plus the 40 or maybe 80 for each one. Because like Tinkaton says, no one plays this card. But Tinkaton said, oh no, what's it? Something Okie dokie. Okidogi is a card that has been played some. Okay, also like Limitless has this like ad on the bottom that isn't the any. I think I have an ad blocker and it's not getting blocked, which is kind of annoying. I mean, I think it's fine. Like I want to support the website, but so Okidogi. Anyways, Okidogi is played with Luminous Energy, which by the way you can't accelerate with Gauch MPX. And then it says so you can have two on, and then the Luminous Energy would be providing both the one you could have fighting on and then a Luminous, and the Luminous would be providing both darkness and fighting at the same time, being one energy but providing two types. So, um, yeah, I don't know if you could say fighting or darkness card attached to it. Anyways, this stuff doesn't really matter. If you wanted to change stuff, I'm sure you could figure out the wording, and I could be wrong as well. But these cards are, yeah, I just haven't seen single circumpower strike stuff in so long, and it's kind of refreshing. Then we have a few more cards. I don't know how much more I'm going to do this. I am feeling a little under the weather, unfortunately. How long have I been streaming? Like a little under an hour. Um, anyway, so then we got a bunch of these. So Vali EXs with RKS system. Oh wait, no, I think they're the same one. Yeah, then we have. So Vali, I think this might be the last set of cards I'm gonna be looking at. I wanted to live stream more, but it's kind of a little late for me, and I'm gonna look at a few more. We'll see. We'll see. Um, there's so many cool cards, cool looking cards here. I can't. Let's see. Anyway, yeah. But Yeah, Legacy's both the same time. Legacy and Luminous would be essentially the same thing. Um, so I'm looking at Discord, which you can't see right now. Anyway, so I got what do I call it? The Type Null Sylvali and Sylvali EX, as well as a bunch of memories. Oh wait, this is gonna cause an issue. I just realized. So there's one for each type. I'm just gonna say that. So are they all the same? Yeah, they're all the same. Well, it says this Valor Sylvali EX this card's attached to is a dragon type and it's attached to 30 more damage. I think there's been an issue with this card. If this card was actually printed, because there is a fire memory card, um, and it's supposed to work on Sylvali GXs. So I think you should say cards with Sylvali in its name because this would actually end up eroding this fire memory, and then you couldn't use fire memory on Sylvali GX anymore, which would just be kind of silly. But whatever. That again, expanded. Who cares about expanded? Obviously, these are based on that though. So there's one of these for each type, and it says it does 30 more damage and provides and changes its type. Um, I think this is cool. This might be too much, but I would almost want to say that it should be um unique for like it should be a unique stat for this isn't wait, what's the fire memory is a little different. Though the memories are a little different because they increase the damage output, and then there are these I don't know how similar. Actually, wait, the Sylvali, I'm not familiar with these. Are they exactly the same? They're not the same. Are they? Arceus system? Um Is there an actual ability Arceus system, or am I just imagining that? Um, oh, that didn't work. Yeah, no, okay, maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking, maybe I saw this card before. Anyway, Disc Reload is like a pseudo reprint, but it's not exactly it's like a similar draw till you have 5 in hand. Obviously, good ability. Weaker, I don't know, I guess it's better than the barrel. Then quick draw 70 for 3 colors, then 50 more damage for each Terra Pokemon your opponent has in play. That's pretty fair. I think that's solid. I like that. I might actually reduce this damage a tiny bit, but that's fine. And then, yeah, though I do like this card. I mean, I think Barbarel's attacks like so annoying. I've had games where it's come down to coin flips and it's annoying. But then Sylvali EX is 270 and Arcade System. Once during a turn, you may move any tool card attached to this Pokemon. I think it shows you return any tool card attached to this Pokemon into your hand. This is something we don't see that often, and it's cool when we see it. Multi-attack says for 2 colorless, 120, you may attach up to two base energy cards from the discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. And then Sylvali is kind of weak, but it's not that bad. And it could hit more than multi-attack. Theoretically, there are some matchups where like if your opponent's playing never mind. I was gonna say a dragon Pokemon, which dragon Pokemon don't have weakness, that also doesn't play Terra Pokemon, but they all play Terra Pokemon. There is Raging Ball, there's Ogre EX, which is in Raging Ball or Drago, and then there's also Dragon Ball EX itself in Dragon Pulse. So this Sylvali will do at least 120, but that's only 120. So I almost want to see this have a third attack. Yeah, so this allows you to switch up the things, and yeah, the meta is pretty varied, so I feel like you'll struggle to consistently get good value out of them. I'd almost wanna. You could definitely get some value out of them. Like they're not bad, but I'd probably make the attack. Oh no, you do 30 more. Never mind. So you're hitting 150, but that's not necessarily one-shotting everything. It's definitely not one-shotting everything. I think I'd almost change this to giving them different effects on each of the different memories. Like I don't know. They're right now all damage, and there's one for each of the 9 types. Not colorless, because obviously. But yeah, I think Sylvia likes type changing is cool. I've said this in the past. Dual typing is cool. Type changing is cool. Type changing is cool. But yeah, and then we also have Nummel. Oh, okay. This is a Nummel we have up next. And I'll be looking at a few more cards. We'll see exactly how many I'd end up reviewing. Probably I don't know. What on earth? Why is there a fur? What are you doing? So wait, what is fur? Fur's definitely not a thing. Okay, Nummel here. I'm probably gonna step away for a few minutes though, and then I'll be back. So, destructive body if this Pokemon is put onto your bench. What is it? We'll see. We'll see. This Pokemon is put onto your bench though with the effect of a trainer card. Put up to six. This is what I say. Put. I'm doing up to 6 damage counters on this Pokemon. You may put 0. Okay. And hurtful attacks 30. Oh, so this is meant to work with the camera up DX. Okay, so this is cool, allowing you to do more damage with that. Hurtful attacks put 3 damage counters on this Pokemon for free. I like this ability. I think this card is kind of cool. It's like kind of like a baby as well. There's blurry. I don't know exactly whether it's blurry on this. The card isn't blurry. Um, that's cool. Synergizing obviously with the camera up, and then we have a few cards here. There's a bunch of cards here. Oh, apparently the X and the plus sometimes isn't like being saved in Pokecard Maker, which is kind of why. PokemonMaker.net is where most of these cards are made, and it's a little wonky at times, and unfortunately can have issues. It does have some issues. It is a website I'd highly recommend to anyone making custom cards, and it's a website that so many people use. Also with the art, I want to say shout out to Ishmael's an artist that I think makes really cool art. I actually don't love this Magmar. I think it's kind of cool, but the head's kind of like wonky. But that's just what Magmar looks like. But yeah. And if you want to see these cards for yourself, oh, Numma with Thornton Heatran, that's kind of fun. I mean, Heatran is kind of expensive as well, though. But you have a bunch of cards here, which I'll take a look in just a second. But you can take a look in the Discord server for yourself as well. And there's a bunch of different. There's like a ton of cards to look at. But yeah, I'll be back in a second, I guess. You have something I need to go and do. Um, hmm, there we go. I will return. Oh, I'm gonna flip away so my mouse doesn't show. Okay, I'm back. Let's go. There we go. We can get out of that, and we have a few cards to look at. That I'm probably gonna stream for like half an hour or more. Let's see exactly how many cards I end up looking at. Probably end up there's this shuffle that I'm gonna look at, and I think that'll be in the last one. So we got a few more though, and oh, I need to look at chat. I did see the message about Mega Basin with double turbo. So yeah, that's really strong. But also kind of awkward combo. That's kind of fun. But Scissor here says Shiny Exoskeleton. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks. Done to this Pokemon. No. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks and abilities from your opponent's rule box Pokemon. Wait. Abilities? Abilities when do I think it should say damage counters. I'm trying to think of a bit like Rulebox Pokemon that have abilities that like do damage or place damage counters, or something like that though. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'm sure there's some like obvious ones. I mean, there's like what Carfagugus EX might I don't know. Obviously, this is like a pretty strong ability, though. Um, it's kind of like Mimikyu. It's essentially exactly like Mimikyu in the way it's written now, I think. But anyways, if you recover for 2 grass, it does 120. If this Pokemon has at least 2 extra grass energy attached to it, flip 3 coins. Okay, for heads, put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Okay, that's kind of fun. You know, got coin flip stuff, pretty normal scissor stuff. We also have a Scyther here, which says slice up, just card a stadium, draw 3, just 20. Pretty like a solid card, pretty like it's kind of like a cube card, I guess, or like a I don't know. It's a fun card, not like a standard good card, but like a cube fun card or something. Then we have Magmortar here with Magmar as well. Magmar says a pretty generic Pokemon here. Then we have Magmortar, which says 150 and HP on stage 1. During Pokemon checkup, put 3 more damage counters on your opponent's burn Pokemon. Okay, another burn card. We've seen a good few of these. And a burn what was I gonna say? Anyway, so Magmortar, oh yeah, yeah. So Meowscarada would place damage counters. It's supposed to doing damage. Like for example, Greninja in Pocket does damage. I think Greninja in the Pokemon TCG places damage counters with the abilities. So yeah, I was gonna say. So then, I don't remember. I was looking at the reading chat, and then my mind got confused. Then Magmortar, what? No, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, Meowscarada is placing damage counters. It's supposed to doing damage, right? So you have attacks that place damage counters, like Mimikyu itself, right? Because Mew EX counters Mimikyu because of placing damage counters. So that's like, so there are damage counters on abilities. Attacks can be damage or damage counters, and that does matter for like Mimikyu. And then damage is never done for abilities. It's only damage counters. So. Rapid Strike, no, Rapid Strike Energy, no, for Rapid Strike Energies in hand, I believe. No, what is it? Rapid Strike Energy. There we go. From I can't think of any Pokemon where it's like Starmie, right? Starmie says that. No, what was Starmie from? There you go. Starmie. That's not there. Starmie. Okay, I can't spell. Starmie from Fusion Strike. There we go. Said to cut any amount of water energy from this Pokemon. Oh wait, no, that doesn't really make sense. I'm trying to think of what's something. Oh, like Oh yeah, no, yeah. So the what did the Urshifu say? Oh, here it is. Um, yeah. So it's from hand. So yeah, it is as long as it's attached, and so it's not attached. Um, um, yeah. So as long as it's attached, it provides those. So when it's not attached, it provides nothing. And I provide a colorless. It's really weird. I don't know how special energies work in the deck, but regardless, it's not. It would not do that with Rapid Strike Energy, I believe. Anyways, so weird revealing stuff. It doesn't matter that much. But Magmortar here says during Pokemon checkup, you increase burn. This flipped 2 coins. Oh, instead of one for the burn. We got really sidetracked there. So yeah, that's interesting. I think this is like kind of doubled up on some of the other burn cards we saw before. Fire Blast though for 3 fire just wins 70. Discard all fire from this Pokemon. And Fang Pokemon is now burned. Obviously, burning Pokemon makes a lot of sense there. I think the basic also burns. Yeah, it does burn. And then and Magmortar does what does it do? It does end up burning. They both burn. So then you're doing a bunch of damage. You're doing guarantee 220, which is a lot, right? That's a good chunk of damage. And you do discard all the fire. I might almost make this, I don't know, this is like high, I was gonna say, it counts as high, okay, so I'm reading chat and then trying to say stuff at the same time. So Megwater does, it's like it's really strong. Discarding the energies, that's like a big issue because then you lose all the energies and you have high retreat, so you're kind of stuck there. Yeah. I don't know. So I might make it like cheaper, do less damage, and something like that. No, not exactly sure though. Then we have Relicanth, which says, okay, are these cards connected? I don't know if they are. Yeah. So no, this one's not. I don't think. Deep 2 retrieval. Once during your turn, you may put 3 damage counters on this Pokemon. If you do, attach a basic water from your discard to one of your bench water Pokemon and shuffle 1 water from your discard pile into your deck. You can use more than one ability per turn, one of any of these abilities. And you can see the arts at the bottom as well. It's like very small, but it is readable. Yeah, so this is pretty solid. Obviously, accelerating energies, and then shuffling back. It's kind of interesting. Like we see Relicanth like recovering stuff pretty commonly. Then switch, submerge, switch with the bench. This is like a fine attack. Nothing crazy. I feel like it's good though, because if your opponent gusts it up, they can't really trap it because of the attack, but they force you to attack. So they can actually gust it up over and over and over again. And you'll be stuck repeatedly, but you can't get out. You're not going to be stuck forever. So I do like this a lot. So yeah, I think I do like the I think the Magmortar is like it's damage up, but it's like fair. I mean, within custom cards, I think you want them to be meta. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, well, I don't know. It doesn't necessarily be meta. It needs to be something that's like interesting. I don't think its damage is like a problem. It's expensive, but payable. It does depend on the context as well. Because obviously, if you're looking at a card, you're looking at it within context of other things. I think this is from a custom set, and so those are always different in context that you're looking at within that. But yeah, then you have Relicanth here, then we have Kingler and Krabby. Krabby says pretty generic. Setup attack, again, cool for the cube and stuff. And then it could be good here. Okay, and then once you turn, you may discard the top card of your deck, draw until you have 6 cards in hand. Okay, this is kind of interesting. A solid draw power. Randomly discarding can be really bad, so I like this a lot. One thing I do find a little weird, I don't know exactly if there's a way to fix this, but Krabby, I feel like Krabby is supposed to have synergy with Kingler. You discard the card you put on top, but you obviously draw it first. So, yeah, I think Kingler's abilities are really cool. Random in some ways that could be annoying, but I like it. Quite strong as well. Could be really good within like discard synergy decks. High retreat. There's a lot of things to dive in if there's an actual card. But they're not like super complicated things. They're things that I think are cool. Helioptile. Then I don't know. It says you flip a coin if heads you paralyze. Do you switch it with one of your bench no matter what, or only if you flipped heads? I'm not sure. I can't think of too many cards. I mean, I don't know. I don't pay too much attention to like mediocre coin flip cards in like standard, so I don't know. And there are definitely cards like this kind of. There aren't really too many good coin flip cards in the game in standard. But definitely like in pocket there are, but in standard there aren't. But Helioptile, it's fine. For the Heliolisk here, we have this Pokemon. Okay, they don't really have any synergy. But you have Heliolisk here, 120 HP, solar recharge. Once during your turn, you attach one lightning energy from your hand to one of your lightning Pokemon. If you do draw 3, okay, that's quite strong. It's kind of like Zadu, but it's like better. It's not. Well, it's a little bit better probably most of the time, and not guaranteed always better. Then, yeah, I was thinking the same thing that it would say if you do. or it'd be in the same sense or something. And then Solar Recharge, or no, and then Parabolic Charge says for 2 lightning 50 heal from this Pokemon, the same amount of damage you did to the defending Pokemon. This is more intended for like a weaker format, not necessarily like a standard format, because obviously probably just got one shotted, and that doesn't really do too much. I think this attack's like fine. They're obviously not intended for like a standard meta. Like I don't know. I feel like the ability is really good though. Like it would be really good in standard. Yeah, it's kind of like Dynamo. It's kind of like I guess like Dynamo. I feel like that's the best comparison. It's quite like Zato, but in terms of metagame, it's kind of like Dynamo. It would add to like Rhydon. Yeah, I was like, what deck was Dynamo played in? And that would be Rhydon. So Helios would be very similar there. Wonder Tree. I'm gonna give it 2, though I don't know what its retreat cost only is. Yeah, I like this card. This ability is really fun. Then we have Minior, which has 80 HP, and it says once during a turn, you may discard this Pokemon, and all cards attached. If you do, draw 2. Okay, this is cool. Kind of like the Unknown, but better. But it's also not Buddy Buddy Pop and Searchable, which I think is very important. Then Rapid Spin for 1 fighting, does 20. Discard special energy attached to your points active. Okay, that's fair. Nothing too crazy here. You could discard it from the active as well. So it can be a pivot. This is a cool card. Very expanded feeling, which is fine. But obviously you could I think it's cool and expanded, kind of broken expanded, but whatever, that's fine. Not like completely game breaking expanded either, in my opinion. Though it is very good with actually no, it'd probably be broken expanded with Rescue Carrier. So you get like a bunch of Meteors and you level ball from them, then you Rescue Carrier, and all of a sudden you have an item that turns into a draw for, which is like super broken. But whatever, it's fine. I think this Meteor is fun in standard. We don't really have too many cards like this in standard. We got like Starmie's kind of like it. Morpeko, I don't know. Morpeko's not really like it. I like this Meteor though. Then we have Mimikyu. I'm going to open up, there's a few, and these are going to be the rest of the ones I'm going to look at. We have a whole evolution line here. Or we have a few evolution lines. Oh, Mandibus, haven't seen one of those in a little while. Galarian Obstinate. Okay, Galarian line, Galarian Zigzagoon line, and Shuckle. Lastly, Shuckle. I'll talk about it now, actually. You must discard a berry Pokemon tool. Okay, so these are the berries. In fact, the only new card we got revealed from the last remaining new card from, what is it, Prismatic Evolutions is a Dragonberry. Yay. No, not yay. That's so boring. But whatever. It's an okay card. Yeah. So then you have, yeah, Sunshine is like really good in something like Mutant. But yeah, so we'll start with, so we'll do Shuckle. I'll work backwards. Galarian Zigzagoon. If this Pokemon didn't move from the bench to the active, does nothing. This is fair. I like this card. I think it's fun. Free attack on a basic. You always need to be careful in terms of if you're doing actual damage. I think this is completely fair though. I like this. Then we have the Galarian Linoon. Your opponent reveals their hand. Discard a trainer card you find there. That is quite good. But not like super broken on a stage 1. I think this is fair. Kind of like Luxray. It's very much like Luxray. I do like this card, or this attack. I think some people might find it annoying, but I like it. And we have Dig Up, which has your ability on stage 2. Oh, it's supposed to be supporter type of there, but whatever. You may choose an item or supporter you find in your opponent's discard pile and use it as the effect of this ability. Then your opponent shuffles that card into their deck. You can't use one once the ability. Okay, I love this ability. Rocking Riot here for 2 darkness, 30 feature bench Pokemon. And then yeah, the attack's like fair, pretty normal stuff. And then I think that Zigzagoon would be like kind of insane in pocket. Be free attacking, but odd enough insane. It'd be good. The single prizes are like kind of terrible in pocket right now. Because there's some really great multi-prizers, but also I'm doing my podcast episode. It will be on Pocket this week. I'm tired. But yeah, it'll be on that, and I'm excited for that, I guess. Haven't planned out too much stuff yet, but I'm excited for that. But anyways, this ability is really cool. It might be broken. I don't know. I mean, being able to, it's pretty good. Is it broken? I don't know. It is allowing you to recover. Like it forces you recover. It's pretty serious downside recovering your points, trainer. But yeah, I like this Galarian Obstagoon a bunch. Yeah, as a custom card, I think this is a pretty cool card. Quite strong and it's not like super crazy either, but I like this a lot. Then we have Volibee with Ascension, and yeah, search for an evolution for free though. This is pretty good Ascension. Then you have Mandibuzz, and it says Stalk as long as this Pokemon is your active. Whenever any of your opponent's Pokemon uses an ability, put 7 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Oh yeah, and the option would be very good, like with Boss and Research. It's like super strong. Um, I think it's okay. I think it's like within the realm of balance. Stage 2 single parties are generally not very good. So I think making it a very strong one is fine. But whenever your opponent plays, if this is inactive, whenever your Pokemon uses an ability, put 7 damage counters. Okay, on one of your opponent's Pokemon, not even that Pokemon. Okay, that's really strong. This is a little weird with Pokebodies versus Pokepower type abilities, where there's activated abilities and non-activated abilities. Um, like how this interact with certain abilities that just like give permanent effects. And I guess it just doesn't. That's kind of the idea, but it works with like if they Curlia or whatever. This is really strong. I think I like this ability a lot. It's a little weird though with the ability activated, like activated versus passive ability thing. Can get a little weird, but I do like this. Then Berry Smash for 2 darkness. 70, you may discard an energy from this Pokemon. If you do heal, it's 90. Again, this is like weaker healing. I believe this was the same set of cards. So healing isn't super meaningful, but um wait. Okay, so and the Mandibuzz is very good if it's in the active. Oh, and then you have Ascension. Yeah, I think the Mandibuzz is too strong. I think it should say you place. I think it should be less, and I think it should also be the Pokemon that uses the ability. Um, yeah, it's very strong. The ability. I'd make it like 1 or 2 probably. I'd say 1 if it's anywhere, 2 if it's on that Pokemon. And obviously it's very good with Frostlass as well. Frostlass self damage to Mandibuzz is honestly kind of negligible in this situation. So yeah, I'd definitely reduce it to yeah, I'd reduce it a bunch. Or make it like it discards itself. Like I think it could be like, oh, you discard it. It doesn't need to be active. That's not that big of a downside. I'd probably make the attack better as well. I think I'd make the attack better, ability worse. It's kind of weird. I'm thinking like the Berry Smash should work with the actual Berry coach, which I was just looking at as well. It's weird as well. There's like weird complications with the ability in terms of things. Yeah, Ford makes sense. I think Ford would still be very good. Like you'd be pretty consistently taking knockouts or doing like essentially 1 prize worth of damage with this Pokemon in the active. Like your opponent is probably using 2 abilities every turn, which is maybe that's not. I don't know. I think I'd make it like noticeably. I think 4 still might be too much. 4 might be fair as well. As Evan's like insane because you're just gonna be like knocking out like 2 prizes every turn or something with an ability on your opponent's turn. So you're just like destroying them. Yeah, the idea is really fun though. Definitely a little overtuned though. Then we have Sableye, and then we have Dragapult, and then we have Mimikyu. Okay, that's it. So Sableye here, once during a turn, you may discard this Pokemon and all cards attached to it. If you do, put an item card or a tool card from your discard pile into your hand. Okay. I think this is fine. Very strong. But fine. I think this is okay. Maybe broken with Prime Catcher, but whatever. Yeah, that's fine. I don't despise that. Like I think Prime Catcher being more reliable might be like Prime Catcher is super good, but there are times like after you use it, obviously it doesn't do anything, right? So I don't know, this would be very good, but whatever. I don't necessarily have a problem with it. Yeah. Then Gem Feast for 2, or no, for free. Discard up to 2 special energy from your opponent's Pokemon, and you will if you discard any cards this way, draw a card. This seems pretty fair. The drawing card feels kind of whatever. Like it's not super meaningful. And then I don't know, just kind of adds something to the deck or to the attack, but I don't think it's necessary. I think it could just be discard the special energies. And I don't know. I don't like know if it necessarily hurts the card. Like generally simpler is better, but it's not super complicated either, so it doesn't need to be that much simpler. I think the Sableye is a really fun card. The ability is quite good, but yeah, Sableye plus Super Rod would be really good. Yeah, I wasn't thinking too much about recovering. I was just thinking about recovering and expanded, which it would be. Actually, no, it would be like broken and expanded, but that's oh yeah, and it gets tools, so Sparkling Crystal is good. I'd almost make it like you discard 2 Sableyes, like this and another Sableye. I think that's probably what I do to balance it out a little. I think that'd be all right. It's still pretty good, I think. I think right now this is a card that you include as a 4 event every single deck in the game. Which is like not something you really want to say about too many cards. I mean it can be okay for like generic trainers, but This is super good. It's kind of like Junk Arm. Junk Arm was an interesting item card, but I think Sableye is better than Junk Arm. And Junk Arm was kind of broken. Junk Arm, if you don't know, is essentially Recover. It's the same thing, except you just card two cards and it's an item. But like the Sableye, it is very good. Yeah, it can be searched with Buddy Wave Poffin, which makes it better. I don't know if it's necessarily a problem, but I probably would raise its HP by um, or its HP by 10. I'd make its stats generally worse. Yeah. Then we have Dreepy, flip coin of heads, put two damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon any way like. Okay. Then you have Drakelook, which says I probably wouldn't give this attack regular damage. Like attacks that could do damage, then also do damage to the active or the bench. It's like kind of weird. Pokemon doesn't really do that, but it's fine. Nothing too crazy there. Then Supercross, put two damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon. Sneaky Dart, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may put three damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. And then wait, Pete Seja would never print the Sableye or the Dreepy. Anyway, Sneaky Dart because there's a delay. So when you play this Pokemon, you may put three damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. I think this is fair. It's quite like it's a little stronger than like its power corrupt version of there's something like this. It would be like stage 1 would be doing two damage counters, or basic would be doing one, and or stage wait no stage 2 would be placing three, stage 1 would be placing two, and basic would be placing one. I don't think this is a problem though. We got Drakeloak here. But yeah, the Sableye is like really good. It's not a card I expect to see in soon. It's like a card I would have seen printed in like 2016 or something. And then Dragon Ball here. Wait, is 2016? I don't know if that's the right year. It's that might be. That seems like kind of about right, the right time period. But anyway, Dragon Ball with 150 HP says Dragon Darks. When you play this Pokemon, you may put three damage counters on two of your opponent's Pokemon. Okay. And then you have Shadow Rush. This ability is kind of, or the attack's kind of weak. Free Retreat's quite good. I think this Dragon Pulse is cool. The attack is kind of whatever, but that's fine. On a Pokemon like this. I do like this Dragon Pulse line. I think it's strong but fair. I mean, it's like a power creep version of previous cards, but I think they were a little weak at the time. So I do like this. And we have Mimikyu, the last card we're taking a look at today. It says Mischievous Moments. If this Pokemon has a tool card attached to it, once during your turn, you may switch your active Psychic Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Then, which is good. It's kind of like Pekka EX. It's just pretty good. But I don't think it's super broken. And then you have Curse, and this can switch itself. Yeah. The 2016. Wait, X and Y base set? That's like about right. I was thinking like last year of Sword and Shield to like early X and Y, like Battle Compressor and Versus Seeker. Wait, no, Versus Seeker was also what's black. What is Versus Seeker? Versus Seeker was I guess it's just 2014. I didn't really play that much then. So I'm just kind of shooting at random year. Wait. Okay, so that was 2014. There we are. I said the wrong year. Okay, yeah, 2014. What? Oh no, Phantom Forces. What am I saying? Phantom Forces. We're just throwing in Valor Compressor. Was an X and Y set. Okay, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what Ace Mix I'm thinking. So I said the. So 2014 is what I meant. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. So anyways, then yeah, this card is solid. And then Curse, during your opponent's next turn, they do not draw any cards at the start of their turn. I think this attack's kind of not good. Oh, it's good. I think it's kind of problematic because it could just like lock your opponent up. That one was 5 years. I'm pretty sure that's not true. I mean, there's like 3 main years, right? 13. The black and white. Oh, you're saying it was in standard from 2011 to 2015, but when it was being printed, it was 2011 to 20. No, you said it's 2011 to 2015 in standard, but 2011 to 2013 being printed. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Mimikyu, I think this is like kind of insane. If you just like hand lock your opponent, you can just attack over and over, and they just kind of like lose. So I think this attack, it's a little sketchy. I think it needs to be like toned down a little. Like it's not consistently broken, but it is it's like it could be really problematic as well at times. But overall, I really like the cards. Looking at these cards, I know we'll be covering some more at some other point as well. Hopefully this VOD will be up. I need to make sure I don't know, just like look at it or something. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Consider liking, subscribing, hitting the bell, all that good stuff. And as well as I'm excited to see you in the next live stream video, all that good stuff. Join the channel as well. That's a cool thing.